Hey everyone, this video is unlike anyone I've ever really made before, but it's one I wanted to make for a really long time. Today we're going to be going over and reviewing all my Mario plushes, which you can see on screen now in this entire collection. I got a second camera set up so you guys can see the plushes, all of them in the big pile that they're in, and then as well as this camera here where you guys can see my hands, and I'll do a close-up of each one. This video should be super interesting. I've been collecting these plushes for years. I haven't really used them in a long time. Some of them are way more used than others. The older ones I used to play with back when I was a kid, so you can really tell the difference, and I'll let you guys know which ones I really played with and which ones I didn't as we go along. I don't know why Mario plushes always interested me, but they really did. My mom used to buy them for me when I was a kid, and then I remember going to the store and picking one out and always getting a new one every couple months, and it was a really big deal for me at the time. And so to still be adding a few to my collection this year is really interesting. And if we're lucky, maybe I'll even do another video next year with an even bigger collection. Who knows? But the first plush I'd like to show off to you guys is my first ever one, the original Mario. As you guys can see, this one was played with a lot. I even at one point cut off his hat so you can see how bald he was. This is a really OG plush. I remember having this when I was like really young. It's the first ever one I got. And I remember being a big fan of other YouTubers who was using this exact plush, so that's why I played with it the most and I had a lot of fun with it. I eventually did end up getting a new Mario because this one's so old and dusty that I really thought I'd have a newer one just for the collection, but this is a really good one. He's a quality one. He served me well for so many years. His little mustache is coming off as well. He's really old and beaten up, but still I love him, you know. That's how he got this way, is all the love that I gave him, and so he's good. All right, if we're done with this one, on to the next one. The next one I might as well show you guys is the one I just mentioned, the new Mario, the upgraded one that hasn't really been played with. This one I only got maybe 2 years ago. I was still pretty old then, so I wasn't really playing with these plushes anymore, but this one's really high quality, really clean. A different version than the other one, obviously, but still, he kind of has the same mustache material. It's kind of funny. But this one's a way higher quality, a bit better build, if I'm being honest. I kind of like him a bit more than my original one, although my original one was, you know, my GOAT, played with the most, but this one's really class, really clean, so I'm glad I got it for the collection, a brand new Mario. Yeah, I like this one. Alright, the obvious next up one, I think. Luigi. This is the high quality Luigi, the same variation of the Mario I just showed you guys. Just the Luigi, obviously, but he's from the same set. Like I said, the quality on these guys is amazing. I don't know what the fabric upgrade they switched from was, but this is like a very nice plush material, especially the little overalls here. And of course, Luigi's just an awesome character to have, you know. Look at him. If you got a Mario, if you have Mario, you basically have to have Luigi, so of course I had to get the new Luigi for the collection as well. Now, I also remember having the Luigi for the Mario I showed you guys, the original one, but I can't find it anywhere. I must have gotten lost in my collection over the years, because I have no idea where that Luigi is. It wasn't in my bin, wasn't around my room, so I must have lost him at some point, which is kind of sad, because he was my OG Luigi, but he's gone, so moving on. Considering we're doing the Mario Brothers first, I might as well show another one, Baby Luigi. This one I've had for a really long time too, and I also remember having a Baby Mario, but again, he's not here, so must have lost him along the way as well. But this is a very cool plush, definitely a good little baby Luigi design. Bit old because he's actually one that I did play with a good amount. He's got a rip there. That's no good. Maybe I should get that sewn up eventually, but I don't know. Baby Luigi, he's an alright one. I don't really use him that much or ever really Baby Luigi that much, but he's pretty cool. Next up on the list is gonna be Fire Mario. Fire Mario, this one I actually just got for Christmas 2023, so this is like one of the most recent ones for my collection. My mom got it for me again, so shout out my mom for that. This is part of the Super Mario line here. I really like keeping the tags on the newer ones, because like I said, the older ones I used to play with, and so I'd rip the tag off and play with them, but now that I'm not really playing with these anymore, I just keep the tag on to keep value, I guess. I don't know. I don't really care about reselling these. Maybe one day I will, but for now, it's just something that's important to me. It's something that I really like, but it's a very cool plush, very high quality, a bit smaller than the other ones, actually. Maybe about the same size as the OG Mario, but he's a bit of a smaller guy, but hey, I like him anyway. Can you guys guess which one's next? That's right, anyone basically could. It's Fire Luigi, basically the same as this Mario, except he's a bit taller and his head's a bit shrinker. I don't know, you guys see his head? It's not really that wide. And also, when I unbox this, I just found this, which is making me upset. This pure white has this little pink scratch on it, and I've tried so hard to get it off. I literally just found that when I was pouring all these up to set up the video, so that's pretty sad. No idea how that got there, but I don't know. Hopefully I can get that off one day. But this is overall, again, really nice plush. The hair's nice on it. Well designed. I don't know. These Mario plushes, one thing I really like is just how much they look like the characters from the games. You know what I mean? They really have like a beautiful design on them, and just the material that they're made out of is so nice. Yeah, this guy's pretty cool. Well, we're still on Mario. I might as well show you guys the big Mario. This one I just got maybe, yeah, in December of 2023. So again, just last month. This one's really cool. I got it from a claw machine. It's part of the Super Mario line again. It's still just so awesome. Like, I can't believe I pulled this from a claw machine. This and a couple other ones in this video you guys will see, and I'll let you guys know when we get to them, but I pulled a couple of these guys back to back on a claw machine, and I was just so excited, if I'm being honest. It's the first time I gotten Mario plushes in years, and I pulled them out of a claw machine, one of the ones that you're not really supposed to win with the really shitty claws, but I was able to finesse my way into 3 extra Mario plushes out of that. And this was just a really cool Mario, very high quality, bigger than my other ones here. I'll pull out, like, this is him compared to the Fire Mario. You see what I mean? Just the size difference on this man. This man's huge. Very sick Mario. I'm glad I got this one because this is one of my favorite Mario plushes. Probably one of the best ones I actually got in the collection, and it's still very new. So, very cool. Another one I actually got from an arcade machine was, if you guys couldn't have guessed, one of the other ones I got from an arcade machine was Big Princess Peach. This is, again, just a very nice Peach design. Super Mario collection, the same one as the Mario one. Pulled this from the same claw machine. It was so awesome. I pulled this one right before I pulled the Mario. But still, just to have this is super sick. I only ever had one Princess Peach, and so another one is to add to the collection is super cool. I just love how detailed these ones are, especially just the size of them. You could very clearly see all the nice little small details. So I'm a big fan of these plushes, and I'm glad I got them from that claw machine. Felt like a big winner that day. And while we're on the topic of princesses, I might as well show you guys the regular size Peach, almost identical to the one I just showed you, but a bit smaller. I've had this one for a few years, actually. This is the first princess I ever got. I've had it for a few years now. It was at a point where I was still playing with the plushes a lot, and I just hadn't had a princess for so long, and so this was very cool. It felt very awesome to finally get a good princess, and I just love the details on these little figures, especially like just the way that they feel. The fabrics on them feel so good. The way her hair is like layered. They do a really good job with these plushes, and that's probably why they interest me so much. It's just because I'm a big fan of Mario and the series and these characters. The fact that you could get them in real life just so detailed is very interesting. Let me reuse the same phrase, and while we're on the topic of princesses, Daisy. This is, again, one of my earlier princesses back in the day when I didn't really have any, and so I'm really glad to have Daisy as well. But I'm a big fan of Daisy. I use Daisy circuit music for almost all my videos, basically, so good job. Thank you, Daisy. I missed the bin with that one. And then, of course, last but not least, the fan favorite princess, Rosalina. This is one of the only plushes I actually ordered online. Most of these were in-store pickups that I found alongside me or other relatives, especially my mom, who helped me pick these out. But this one I actually ordered online off Amazon, which is pretty cool. I think it's in really good quality. I don't think it's any lower than the other ones. I really like the way her hair goes over her eye just a bit, but her eye is still fully made, so you can lift the hair up. Overall, it's a really good plush. Rosalina was probably my favorite princess as a kid just because she was so mysterious. Like, I only ever seen her in the one game, you know what I mean? So it was really cool to speculate or speculate more about her backstory and all that stuff, and the game theories didn't help. So this is definitely one of the ones I was most excited to have back in the day, and still I'm pretty excited to have her because having all 3 princesses in my collection feels pretty cool. So yeah, I like this one. Alright, switching up the vibe from princesses, this is Toad. My very first ever Toad, my OG Toad, the one I used to play with all the time back in the day, and this is actually the first ever plush I ordered off Amazon, online. And I played with him a lot. As you guys can see, I cut off his jacket so you can take it off and make him waddle around shirtless, but this is literally the first plush I ever ordered online. Probably the first order I ever placed online before I even knew what online ordering was, you know what I mean? Had a bit of money on my mom's card, and she said, yeah, buy a plush, and so I bought this one because I hadn't had a Toad up to this point. And this is, yeah, one of my only Toads that I actually have in my collection today. I don't have a lot. Maybe I should get some more in the next little bit, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like a big priority to me, but this guy's one of my favorites. He was one of my favorite plushes, probably the one I gave the most love to. You guys can see he's a bit dirty and everything because he was played with a lot, but still, I really like this plush, and the memories I have with him mean a lot to me, so Toad's pretty cool. I think next up's going to be one of my more detailed plushes. This is Captain Toad. You guys can see here, he's got so many little details on him, and I really liked the Wii U game when it came out, and so to have a Captain Toad plush to be this high quality, which is awesome to me at the time, and his little backpack and his book and everything, like, just look how high quality this fabric is. It's very, very nice. This one I barely even played with, even though I was a kid, just because I knew how nice it was, and so I was like, holy crap, I want to keep this as clean as possible. I love his little headlamp. Like, they really did a good job detailing this Captain Toad plush. I don't know why they cooked so hard on this one, but they really did, so man, this guy's one of my favorites. I'm glad I have him. One of my only Toads that I have, so it's a pretty cool guy. Alright, and last but not least, rounding out the Toad family, yellow squirrel toad. This one's a crazy one to have, you know, it's a flying squirrel and also he's a flying squirrel and also a toad, so it's pretty crazy. I wish I had a blue toad plush, if I'm being honest, because I've always been more of a blue toad guy than yellow toad guy personally, but they got the yellow flying squirrel toad, so he's not bad. I think it's about time we start knocking off some enemies, and to start off that list, Cheep. He's a pretty cool guy. He's not really a major enemy, but he's a little fish guy, and he attacks you, so I think he counts. You can open his mouth a bit. He's a pretty cool plush, very detailed again. Like I said, they do a good job of making him look exactly like how they do in the game. I love his little wings on the side, and he's a cool guy. He still's got a tag on him. He's part of the All-Star collection. This type of tag is very cool to me because it says made in Vietnam. Holy shit, that's crazy. I'm a big fan of Nintendo, and I'm a big fan of just, I don't know, the rare tags and stuff. So it doesn't just say Super Mario on it. It's a Super Mario All-Star collection that makes it feel way cooler to me, if I'm being honest. Cheep's an alright character, alright enemy, but makes a pretty good plush, so that's about it. Next up, we'll go with Paratroopa. Paratroopa is another good enemy, the red shell version of the Koopa Troopa. Little wings again. Very cool plush, one of my later ones. I usually leave this guy hanging up on my wall, actually, instead of with the rest of them, because he's a pretty cool little wall decor, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I like these guys. Paratroopers are pretty awesome. Alright, next one. Considering we showed off the Paratroopa and not the original, Koopa Troopa. This guy's actually really cool. I really like his shell and all the little details he's got on him. These lines and everything really make him look like his in-game counterpart. Just a cool little Koopa Troopa, you know? Nothing too out of the ordinary, nothing too in the ordinary, but it's just perfect the way he is. There's a reason this design has persisted for so long, and it's just because he's a basic turtle. I mean, what more do you need? He's a Koopa Troopa. It's perfect. And him in plush form is just as good, honestly. I'm a big fan. Waba. Alright, next up, let's go with basically the #1 companion to the Koopa Troopa, Goomba. Now, this is actually my only Goomba plush. I'm a big fan of this one, if I'm being honest. I used to be a big fan of the Angry Goomba YouTube channel, and so this guy, I used to just walk around and pretend I was the Angry Goomba. But this is really cool. But I cut off the tag here. I don't know why I would ever do that because it makes it look so ugly. But yeah, I cut off the tag there. This is still just one of my favorites. He's just really fun to just walk around with. Like, look at him. He's a little silly guy, and his eyebrows are so long. These eyebrows go for so far. Chat, look. Very cool plush, if I'm being honest. I'm a big fan of the Goombas, and this is just awesome. So, yeah, one of my favorites, probably. Let me take a second to say, not really one of my favorites, but, like, gimmick-wise, yeah, probably one of my favorites. But, like, if he was on a tier list, he's bro's, like, lucky to be top 20. Alright, why don't we change it up and start looking at some dinosaurs? Hey, guys, this is my first ever Yoshi. Yellow Yoshi, super dirty, as you guys can tell, because, like I said, he's my first ever one. He was played with the most. Very cool. I used to have my OG Mario right on top of this guy and just jump around and be all awesome because it was my only Yoshi. But it's a really good size for playing with. Definitely a good first Yoshi, but as you guys can see, he's very small. I mean, a little small guy. He's pretty overlooked in the collection, but he's still one of my OGs. I really like him, so yeah. Next one I got was Pink Yoshi. This was obviously a bit bigger, as you guys can tell. Still really cool. Again, very high quality. Like, Mario plush is very... Official Nintendo plushes really never miss on the quality here. Like, they're so good at making it look like the in-game counterpart. I'm glad I got a second Yoshi. And last but not least that I have in my room, Black Yoshi. I remember getting this one because I used to be a big fan of Super Mario Logan back in the day, and so I thought having a Black Yoshi would be really cool. So it still has his tag on him, the Super Mario tag. Made in China. Like I said, the Nintendo licensed ones really never miss. He almost looks like literally identical to this guy because it's how Yoshis look. You see what I mean? But still very cool. And actually, I have one more of these guys. Is a blue one, but I have him upstairs, I think, with my little brother somewhere, so he's not really mine anymore. But there was another one of these. Not here right now, so he's not going to be in this video, but he's there. All right, next up, Chain Chomp. This one's a very funny plush. He's just so circular. It's kind of awkward to hold him, but this is a really nice plush. I like the chain here. I usually have him hanging from my wall as well as next to the Paratroopa, because he looks like a pretty cool guy just hanging there. He still got a tag on him as well. It's another All-Star Collection tag. Very cool. Very good. Like I said, I really like this tag just because it has the other texture. It makes it feel cooler. I don't know if they're rare. I don't know if they're more valuable. Just the fact that this is All-Star Collection makes me feel like he is more rare or more valuable. So this guy's really cool. I'm a big fan of the Chain Chomp plush. Speaking of All-Star Collection, Bullet Bill is surprisingly a part of that collection. As you guys can see here, he's got the Bullet Bill All-Star Collection tag. Very cool plush, just very Bullet Bill in design. You know, you can't really go wrong, can't really go right. This is a very basic design, but it's still pretty cool. Oh yeah, overall good plush, you know. Looks exactly like he does in the game. So that's all you're supposed to do. Now, this one is actually a bit of a different story. Boom Boom. This one I ordered online as well. This is at the time when I ordered Rosalina. I ordered this guy, and he was an All-Star Collection plush. I had his tag here, but I guess I took it off because I wanted to play with him. Because back when I got him, I was still into playing with these guys, and so I guess I cut the tag off of him, which I probably shouldn't have done, but whatever. I don't really care. But he is one of my favorite plushes. I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but there's this type of material that they use. It just feels better than the rest of them. It's just this high-quality plush material, and they used it on this guy. And his big hands just made him fun to play with and punch other plushes. You know what I mean? Boom Boom's a really interesting character. We don't get to see him a lot in the series, and so for him to get his own plush like this, it was really cool to me, and I'm a big fan of Boom Boom plush. Overall, actually one of my favorites in the collection. Probably top 10 if I'm being honest. I really like this guy. Next up, Iggy. Iggy is one of the Koopalings. I only have a few of them. Actually, I don't have the full set of Koopalings. So that's probably one thing I should look into getting for the collection. But Iggy, if I'm being honest, is probably my least favorite Koopaling. Not even, like, I don't hate him, you know what I mean? But his boss fight in New Super Mario Bros. U took me hours. Me and my buddy ran this man's boss fight for a straight up day. All right? I don't know what it was, what they put in that boss fight where you got to jump up and down off the ceiling and stuff. It was so difficult on, I don't know, maybe we were just kids, you know what I mean? But we struggled for hours on this one. So for that one, I always just have a little bit of hatred in my heart for Iggy. Very cool, very detailed plush. I'm a big fan of the quality of him, but just look at him, man. Imagine if you spent an entire day fighting this guy. You know what I mean? Like, all right, I might as well knock out all the Koopa Troopas. And so the next one I got here is Lemmy. Lemmy's actually really cool. I'm a big fan of this guy. It's actually probably one of my favorite ones. His boss fight's always really fun with the little bouncy ball. And this one's a crazy memory I have. Let me paint you guys a picture of how I got this guy, all right? So one morning I wake up, do my usual, you know, lay in bed for 30, 40 minutes. And at this point, I need to preface this. I'm a kid. This is like years ago. I have this guy for a while. I was a small kid. So you do your usual, you know, wake up and lay in bed a little bit, just be a kid and think about shit. Then I got out of bed, and I went to the bathroom. It was a Sunday, so I had no school. And in the bathroom, as I'm using the bathroom, I'm sitting there, and I look right in front of me, and there's this guy sitting in a wrapped up bag. And I'm like, it's got to be for me, right? Like, who else is collecting Mario plushes in this house? This is probably for me. So I open it up. Surprise, surprise, it was for me. It's Lemmy, and he was watching me shit when I first got him. But overall, very cool plush. I'm glad my mom surprised me with him like that. Just finding him in the bathroom was such a weird memory for me. I was like, why is this guy here? Overall, very cool plush. Big fan of him. And he got that little funny story, so I'm mad. Next up, this guy's actually my first ever Koopaling. The big boy himself, Morton. This guy's very cool, if I'm being honest. I remember thinking he was just so, like, badass as a kid. Like, big shelled, big fat little... And this is before I had any Bowser, so this guy would always be the villain. As you can tell, I was a really young kid when I played with him because, look at him, he's got this little scratch here. And this is something that kind of makes me mad, if I'm being honest. Maybe one day I can figure out how to clean this off, but it's been there for years now, so I don't know. Overall, though, Morton was one of my favorites. He got the most playtime out of any Koopaling just because he needed to be the big bad for all my stuff because I didn't have a Bowser yet. And so he needed to be the big bad, you know what I mean, Koopa guy. And so that's what he was. But Morton's a really cool one. I really like the star in his eye. And like I said to the rest of these, they're just super detailed. You see his teeth and everything. Like, they put in the work for their licensed plushes, and I'm a big fan of it. That's why I like him so much, I think. But yeah, Morton's really awesome. Probably one of my favorite Koopalings. I don't know. Next. All right, now this guy's actually the last Koopaling I have. This is Roy. Roy's really cool as well. I really like his world. I really like his levels in the game, and his boss fight's always really cool with the big bullet bill cannon. He's a pretty alright Koopaling. I like his sunglasses, and his design is pretty neat, but oh my god, he's got a rip there? Oh no, chat, can you guys see that? Look, he totally has a rip there. Oh, that's bad. I'll get that sewn up maybe. I don't know how he got that. This guy barely even got played with. This is one of my later additions to the collection, so I don't know how he got that rip, but overall, pretty cool plush. I like his design, and I probably need to get the rest of the Koopalings, but I just don't have them at the moment. Maybe I should eventually get them. I think it'd be a cool addition to the collection so I can have them all. I think I'm missing Wendy, Ludwig. Are those all I'm missing? And Larry. I forgot about Larry. So I'm missing Ludwig, Wendy, and Larry. Those are the three I'm missing. Boo-hoo. What are you going to do? Alright, that was the last Koopaling. That doesn't mean he's got to be the last Koopa. The next one on the line is Bowser Jr. This is, again, one of my more recent additions. I probably only got him 1 or 2 years ago now. He's super cool. I like him. He's probably the only plush I have that literally stands up on his own on any surface. He will stand. He can stand anywhere. Can he stand here? Yeah. I don't know. He's good at standing. And that's about all he's good at. No, I'm just kidding. He's a very cool plush. His little bib is really nice. I like how it's so detailed to the point where you can just like feel it popping out of the thing. Like it's a very nice texture. Overall, just a really interesting and well-detailed plush. The shell looks super sick. I'm just glad I finally got a Bowser Jr. in my collection because for the longest time, he's one of the ones I always wanted. Because like I said, I used to be a big fan of like the Super Mario Logan and all these other plush channels and stuff who always had a Junior as one of the characters. And I never had one, so now I finally do. A little late for me to play with him, but still really cool nonetheless, so yeah. Alright, keeping it in Koopa tradition, here I have the Hammer Bro. This guy's also really cool. Big fan of him. Just his entire like hockey bro detail, whatever. This helmet just looks so sick. The shell is very well detailed. And the fact that he's actually got one of his hammers he throws is just awesome. I like the way that this guy's nose is a bit different than all the other Koopas too. I have no idea why that is, but it totally is like a bird beak. I don't know. Hammer Bros are really cool. Maybe if I got a second one, they'd be the Hammer Bros. You know what I mean? But I got a Hammer Bro at least. So overall, I'm happy with this plush. Very well detailed. And basically the last Koopa I have besides the big guy himself, which we'll get to later. So overall, yeah, I really like this guy. Next up on the list, let's go with Kamek. Now, this guy might actually be my only knockoff. I'm not sure. This tag here doesn't look like a Mario branded tag. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but I'm pretty sure this guy might be a knockoff. I mean, it says Super Mario on Nintendo, Legend by Nintendo here. I don't know. This guy just looks a bit silly, if I'm being honest. I've seen a lot better Kameks, but he was cheap, and I saw him in public, and so I was like, what? Like, I think it was like $10. It's not bad. And my first ever Kamek to the collection, so overall, I think he's all right, but if I were to keep the collection going, I'd probably buy another one just so I can have an actual nice looking one. He's all right though, I guess. All right, this next one might actually be one of my favorite ones ever. I remember getting this at GameStop when I was just a little kid. It's Nabbit. Nabbit is from the New Super Mario Bros. U game. I'm sure you guys have heard of him, and those who haven't. But Nabbit's like a very small Mario side character, and so the fact they made a whole plush of him is really interesting to me. And I saw him at GameStop one time, and I was like, this is so awesome. For some reason, as a kid, when I played New Super Mario Bros. U, I was just a big fan of Nabbit. Thought he was an awesome-looking character. I still think he is. He's pretty cool. He's got, like, Bowser Jr.'s mask, but, like, official. You see what I mean? With the teeth. And he's got this little bag that he steals stuff in. I think this is one of my first plushes to actually come with an accessory like this. That's why I thought it was so cool at the time. And still, I really think this is a nicely designed plush. And Nabbit's just a really interesting character. I wish they would use him more. Hopefully, I'll see him in a future game. Chat. This is completely unrelated. Oh, I was rooting for him in Mario Kart. I was like, please, I don't want Pauline. Just give me Nabbit. If Nabbit's in Mario Kart, I'd be so happy, all right? I don't need Pauline. I just want more Nabbit. I want more Nabbit content. I want more Nabbit models. I want more Nabbit everything. I just want more Nabbit in the world. So if that can happen, thank you. And if it can't, whatever. All right, we only got a few enemies left, so I might as well start knocking them off quick. This one I'm going to do in pair of two, which I think you guys will see why here in a second, because it is Lakitu and Spiny. These two are basically always a pair. The Lakitu is the one that throws the Spiny into the map. But this is a nice little Lakitu plush. His cloud's a bit dirty. Maybe I can clean that up eventually. But overall, it's a very cool plush. I remember playing with him a good amount too because it's so interesting just how he just flies around this cloud. And the Spiny, I used to just drop on people or whatever. He's a small little guy. He didn't get a lot of playtime, but he's still pretty interesting to have around. Sorry, you guys can't see him if I put him down there. But overall, he's a nice little plush. Basically looks the same as like any other shell design, but it's just red. And then he has like a different little shell than most Koopas, but it's still really interesting. I like both of these guys. Both really interesting plushes. Both go together really well and look like they're in-game characters. And so, yeah, they're really nice. Next up on our enemy list is Boo. Boo's actually a really interesting one as well. Just a nice little, just a very interesting little ghost design. You know, a good character, very recognizable to Mario. Okay, I was actually debating saving this guy for the last enemy, but I think I'm going to put him up here. It's Bowser, my one and only Bowser that I have. Overall, I think this plush is alright. I think it's kind of silly because if you're looking at it from a front angle, all you see is his mouth. But if you turn him like this, he's a really nice Bowser plush. Looks very cool. This shell design is sick. Like, this is one of the best shell designs I think I've ever seen on a plush. Just look how fast this is. Look how fat this is, dude. All these big little spiky shells is so sick. This is one of the best shells I think I've ever seen on a plush. As well as his little teeth here. He's got all four of them. His little eyes are pure red. A very, very well-detailed and interesting Bowser plush. I'm a big fan of this, and I'm just happy that I finally have a Bowser in my collection, because this guy took so long for me to get. I mean, I had been collecting these guys for years, just without a Bowser, and it felt wrong. How do you have Mario but not Bowser? You know? So now I finally have all of them, and it just makes me feel happy, so I'm glad. I'm glad I got this guy. And now for our last enemy, Bob-omb. Bob-omb's a very interesting character. He's just a little bomb guy. He's got his little, twisty thing on the back, and his little fuse has been burnt out, so he's not going to be burning anytime soon. Overall, a very interesting plush, a very funny character from the Mario series. I kind of wish I had a King Bomb, because he's, you know, like the king of the bombs, and he'd be like a really cool plush to have, but no, I don't. I only have this guy, and he's not too bad. If I'm remembering correctly, I got this guy from a diner, which is a very crazy story. Well, it's not that crazy, if I'm being honest. I was at a diner with my grandma, and I went behind the counter. I don't know why I was allowed behind the counter. I think the lady wanted like to show me something or whatever. And there was this bin full of like toys, and like this was on top. And she was like, "You want one?" And I was like, "Can I have this?" She's like, "It's kind of expensive." And I was like, "Can I have this?" She was like, "Yeah, take it." And I was like, "All right, dope." And so that's how I left a diner with this guy, which is pretty funny. I don't know if they wanted to give him to me. I don't know if they're supposed to give him to me, but they gave him to me, and I left. And so I had a bubble. I don't know if I got that story exactly right. I don't think the conversation went down exactly like that. I just remember asking for it, and then there being a couple seconds of like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get it, and then I got it, and I left. Yeah, I mean, I was a really young kid, but I don't know why I was behind the counter of the diner. Like, I'm just trying to think about the story, and I'm like, why? Who let me back there? I didn't steal that, I promise. They gave it to me. Alright, this was kind of silly. I don't even know if this counts as a plush, but it is, yeah, it does count as a plush, but this is actually a DS holder case. It is a red shell. Put my DS games in there usually, but I took them out for this video. Overall, this is a nice little plush, more like a game case, but yeah, you know, red shell plush. Next up, the man with a plan himself, Diddy Kong. This is actually a very cool looking plush. One of the only Donkey Kong plushes I had for a really long time. His tail is so funny looking, like the way it moves around when you move him around and stuff. Overall, he's just a funny little guy. I like the way his hands are placed. His little Nintendo hat just make him like a really cool character. So I'm a big fan of Diddy Kong. I'm a big fan of this guy here. Very, very, very dope plush. And of course, if you're gonna have Diddy, Donkey Kong. Now this guy is actually one of my more recent more recent additions is what I meant. But yeah, this is the third guy I wanted from that claw machine, the same as that Big Mario and Big Peach. So I'm very cool to have this guy, because I literally, imagine making this video and I had Diddy Kong but no Donkey Kong. Like, that would have been lame. Probably why I waited so long to make this video, if I'm being honest, because like as a kid I always liked these plush videos, and I've been making videos for a few years now and I never made one myself. But I think the fact that I got a few of these characters that really, I think, kind of complete the lineup. It's not fully done, but you know, like at least I have a full lineup of characters. I'm really happy I got this Donkey Kong. His abs are made of some weird material as well. You guys can see how puffy these are. Like, they don't squish. They're very like, I don't know what foam this is, but they're hard. I shouldn't say that. And I still just think it's crazy I won it from an arcade machine, because I'm telling you, those claws, you're not supposed to win. Yeah, I mean, like, these claws are dropping the plush every other turn, but it's like, I played a good amount and I won these guys, and I'm pretty happy about it. All right, these guys have been pushing off, so let's get to them. All right, next up is Waluigi. Now, this guy's actually super cool. He's one of my favorite plushes, if I'm being honest again. I love the way he's just primed for punching. Like, the ones that feel the best to play with are some of my favorites, because I used to play with them a lot as a kid, and this guy's just ready to punch. But he's also just so lanky and funny looking. Like, look at him just move around. You see he's just bouncy and all lanky and stuff. So again, just super well detailed as well. The mustache and his nose and everything. Super cool. This is one of the ones I ordered online as well. Like, the third plush I think I ever ordered online. And I got a very cool memory of unboxing this guy, because, when I ordered these guys, I ordered them all at once. I ordered Boom Boom, Rosalina, and Waluigi all at once. And Boom Boom had came in at that point, and so I'd already had him. And then obviously it was Waluigi and Rosalina that were still waiting to come in. And so I was checking the mailbox every single day after school. You know what I mean? I'd walk over to the post office, check the mailbox, walk back, nothing. Every single day after school, until finally I got this package, and it was one package, and I was like, oh, I wonder which one's gonna be. I spent the entire time walking back home, and I was like debating if I wanted Rosalina or Waluigi more, Rosalina or Waluigi, and I was like, I want Waluigi. You know what I mean? It's super interesting plush, super cool. I was excited to unbox him. I was like, I'm praying it's Waluigi. So I rip open the box when I get home, and it's Rosalina, and I'm like, pfft. The fact that I put the expectation on it made it just like, pfft, Rosalina. You know what I mean? Pulled it out, and I was like, she's cool, but not what I wanted really right now. And then I reached into the bag, and Waluigi was also there. There were two plushes in that one bag. And so I'm guessing I bought it from the same seller, and he realized I ordered to the same address, and so he put them both in one bag. But that was just super interesting to me as a kid, because I was so excited, because I really thought I got disappointed. I was like, no Waluigi? Boom. Waluigi in the bag. And so it was just very cool. I got Rosalina and Waluigi both in the same package. Remember, he was scrounched up like this. Like, he was real scrounched up in that bag. But he was there. And so that made me pretty happy as a kid. And of course, if you have Waluigi, you have to have Wario. Wario is actually like an insanely huge plush, and he's one of my newer additions to the collection as well. Getting this guy, I think, is what made me start really looking to collect more of these guys. And of course, winning from the arcade machine recently is what got me to make this video. But I only got this guy maybe a year ago, one of my newest ones I have, and it's just so dope to finally have Waluigi and Wario together. You know, just have the two brothers just right here. The Wario is way bigger. It's insane how big this Wario is compared to, like, dude, compare him to Bowser. Like, this guy is a big dude, but still one of my favorite plushes, and so high quality. Look at his face. Like, the quality on these plushes is really insane on some of them. It's super impressive, and so I'm a big fan of Wario. And I think we'll do these last two at once, basically. Alright, now the last two I got are Mario and Luigi. As I'm sure you guys can see, these guys are actually really, really massive. And so, I'm going to zoom out the camera there. But yeah, this is Wario. This is Mario and Luigi. But huge. I got these guys from GameStop recently. First, I bought the Luigi a few months ago, and I had him for a while, and I was like, yeah, you know, I'm happy with the Luigi. He's a big guy. And then eventually, I saw the Mario at a different GameStop, and I was like, yes, I need to buy this. So I ran to an ATM, and I had to get cash because my credit card wasn't working. And so then, boom, I got Mario, and I got Luigi in the massive sizes. These guys are really cool. They don't even go in the bin with the rest of them. They wouldn't even fit, but I just keep them out because they're really dope looking, really interesting, super detailed, and just huge plushes. You guys can see these guys are massive, you know what I mean? And so it's very cool to have these two of my favorite plushes I got in the collection. I guess they're not even a part of my collection, they're just around my house because that's how huge they are. But overall, I'm a big fan of these guys, and I'm just a big fan of Mario plushes in general. As you guys can tell from this video, I've been recording for almost an hour talking about plushes, so yeah.